Welcome to episode 9 of Build an Etsy Business with me, Nick, and of course Lou, who is rapidly becoming the star of this show. A little bit later on, Lou is going to be doing a long bit of content about the future direction of the store and the things she's going to be making. We touched on it last week, but we're going to go into more detail on it this week. Before we get to that though, I need you guys' help. All of you, I need your help. So in July, and literally it's just over a month away, 6 weeks away, I'm flying to England to meet Lou, spend some time with her, film some content together, have a laugh, and bring some great video back for you guys. So considering that we're going to be together, we're going to have access to her workshop, everything that she does day to day. Please tell me in the comments what you would like to see in terms of content for the time that I'm there, so that we can talk about what we're going to film there to give you guys what you really want to see. So any ideas or suggestions, get into the comments and let me know what you'd like to see when Lou and I are together in England, which will be, I think, the first 2 weeks in July. We've already got some ideas, but I really appreciate hearing what you guys got to say. So let's see what Lou's got to say about the future path of the shop, and then I'll jump in afterwards and offer my thoughts as well. And then after that, as always, quick visit into the store. Let's check out what's new, look at the data, and that'll be it for this week's video. So Lou, take it away.
Nice. Woo! Always wanted to do that. Makes things so much easier for traveling. Anyway, let's have a chat. So yesterday I faced my fears and I took myself to my local timber yard. Whoa, what an experience that was, in a good way. Thank goodness. I was really nervous going there. I mean, I've worked in the trade for years as a painter and decorator. Keep banging on about that. And it's totally different, but you'd think I'd be used to dealing with, trade counters and that. But I've been out of the game for about a year and a half, so I was a bit nervous. Anyway, it had to be done, right? So I went there and the experience was incredible. I felt like a real maker. I'm in the timber yard. I'm with Brian, lovely Brian, picking out all my timber and looking at it and everything like that. And it was a really good experience. I was so pleased that I was able to handpick all of my timber, because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to for British health and safety reasons. But I was in there, getting in there with it all, and the machinery they've got in there to get all the massive big planks of wood. I mean, these planks, they come in huge, like nearly 5 metre lengths, and the lovely Brian very kindly cut them all down for me. That saves me a job. So always be friendly to your local timber yard and they will do anything for you. Anyway, stop rambling, Lou. Let's talk about the stuff that you've come here for, and let's talk about this amazing listing plan I've got. Check it out. There. So the plan is multiple listings of the same thing, but different. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to be offering at the moment here, I think there's 5 different types of shelving. So I've got different widths and different thicknesses. The lengths, I'm not going to do them as individuals. So on every listing in the options thing, I don't know how you do it, I'll be doing the different lengths. If I did a listing for each length, we'll be here for years. And I don't really think that's very productive. But what I will be doing as individual listings is the different colours. So instead of just giving a list of colours that you can choose from, and that the customer can't really see the product with that colour, what I'm going to do is, why I've got so much wood here, is every listing will be a specific colour. So the customer will be able to get a better idea of what colours are on offer. So I'm going to be using 8 different colours, one of them being clear, all different types. We've got, for instance, classic my rustic pine that I absolutely love, down to a dark oak, a medium brown, walnut, all different colours ranging from very light right to the very dark colours. There's something for everyone. So on each piece of wood here, this is a 1 metre shelf. So these, all I'm using these for is that they're my samples. They're my items that I'm going to be photographing. So yeah, you might think, well, that's a lot of wood, but this is my marketing plan. This is I've spent money on this because people aren't going to buy it unless they can see what it is. So it may be a lot of money to put into it. And let me tell you, my savings are shrinking rapidly. So I need this to work because I need to earn some money. So where was I? Back in the room. So yeah, so each of these will be photographed. So each one is going to be a different colour in a different width or thickness. Also, I've got loads of brackets. So there's going to be floating shelves, and then there's going to be shelves. I think I've got 4 different, might be 5 different types of brackets as well, which will all be separate listings. So there's probably about 100 listings just in this alone, with the different colour combos and the different brackets of how to put them up, which is going to save so much time for me of making things in the shop. And also, when the orders start flying in, these are so easy to make for me. They are so easy to make. The thing about shelving is, if you've got a good supplier, which I have found, and locally, which is brilliant, is that I can get it for a really good price, and shelves for me are really easy to make, so it's going to save loads of time. Then I can concentrate, like I was saying, on the much bigger items that I want to make. That's going to take me a bit of time to hone my skills on. So that's where I'm going with this. So over the next, I don't know, few months or so, I don't know how long it's going to take, haven't even worked it out. This is the sort of thing you're going to be seeing in my shop. But I'm going to mingle in other different bits and pieces as well to keep an interested on the shop front, so it doesn't just look all like shelving, because I don't want to be exclusively shelving, but I do want to be the go-to shelving person on Etsy. That's for certain. Because I've got lots of ideas for all different types of shelving units and all sorts of things like that. So there we are. That is the plan. Oh my goodness. I hope it works. I ran it past Nick last week, and he gave me a thumbs up and said, yeah, do it. And now we can only see. So yeah, I mean, you're following the journey. You'll see what happens. So I can only give it a try, because I need to make some money. We'll see.
So I thought that was fascinating, and Lou and I spoke about the shelving part of the business, and it was very important for Lou and for both of us working together to gain economies of scale. So anywhere that we can make efficiencies and make the production process as smooth as possible on Lou's side was a bonus. So this idea of shelving is really, really good. From my side, I was talking to Lou about the creative side of shelving, because there's lots of regular size shelving, but from my experience of working with woodworkers on Etsy, and I've worked with a couple of dozen stores minimum in this time, something that I realized when I was working with the client and their customers was people that people want different types of shelves. And I was talking to Lou about the sizing, the thickness, how many levels a shelf has, how wide they are, you know, things like nook and cranny shelves to get into small spaces, because people have, you know, funny shaped rooms and sizes and so on. And I was saying to Lou last week that this is a really, really important area of the niche that we need to exploit. And I really like the idea of shelving. Shelving is evergreen. It's a really good area to be involved in wood. And hopefully we're going to see lots of new, interesting designs coming through the store over the summer. Just to remind you guys, Etsy in June, July and August gets quiet. Okay, so the marketplace does slow down because everyone's on holiday or doing anything other than shopping on Etsy. And it remains flat until mid-end of August, when it starts to pick up and more traffic starts to come into the site again. And as far as Lou goes and the store that we're building, it's mainly going to benefit from September to about May time. So it's the winter area of the selling year when eyes and minds are concentrating on home improvement as the weather draws in and cools down. This is when shops like Lou's tend to sell a lot more. So lots of planning, lots of development. I can't wait to go and meet Lou. I think we're going to film some cracking content, and as I say, it'll be really good to hear from you guys about what you'd like to see in that content. So as always, let's get into the shop now. Let's have a look at what's new and have a quick look at the data. Let's get into that. Right then, shall we have a look at what new products are in the store this week? And they are a couple of really cute items. The first one is this pine wooden letter tray. I think it's absolutely lovely. Just delightfully simple and can go on the desk or any space, pretty much anywhere in the house. Lovely, lovely stuff. And this one's even better. I love this. It's a pine wooden key holder. And I just think that's absolutely lovely. I'll just put the picture up there. Really good. Lou is really, really getting into the vibe, into creating wonderful pieces in her store. So these two items are absolutely fantastic. Love them both. Let's now have a look at the data. What's going on with the data in the store? Here we are then in shop data as always. And this week I'm going to take you a little bit further down the page to look at some more data than we usually do, that hopefully you'll find interesting. First of all, this so far, 1,156 visits. Lots of those were coming in from YouTube, of course. Just the one order, I'm not worried about that at the moment. The store's only got 14 items in it and it needs to grow. So this is to be expected. These numbers of visits here are going down as the numbers of people drop from YouTube and the numbers go up in terms of views coming in from Etsy. Talking of Etsy, let's have a look at the views here. Let's look at the stats here. So here, we can see that 72% are coming in from Etsy, 337 from search, 489 from the Etsy app and other Etsy pages. So this is the number here, guys, that you want to grow in your store. So when you're building and growing your Etsy store, you want this number to go up and this number to go down. I know that that's not what people tell you everywhere else on YouTube, but I've been doing this job for 8 years and I can tell you straight, when you become successful and start to make lots of sales, this here is where all your traffic is going to come from rather than from here. Etsy search should only account for maybe 10, 15, 18% on desktop. Everything else should come from here, which does include search on the Etsy app. That is true, but suggestion and recommendation is the key to lots and lots of sales on Etsy. We want this number to be as big as possible. Okay, so our traffic is 28%. That's obviously coming from YouTube. Now, let's just come down here. Let's look at the items. Let's see what items are bringing all these views in. So at the top is the candle holder that's sold. No surprise there. Another candle holder. These items have been in longer. This is the doorstop. I absolutely love that. That's picking up some serious views. And notice the number of favorites coming in. So lots of favorites coming in, so people are interested in these items, they're favoriting them because they're really, really, really nice to look at. And then come down to page 2 and we move down the views. leather handle tray, tea light holders, and we go down the floating shelves. These shelves, they're going to pick up views as the store goes on and time goes on. These are going to pick up more views then. So really, really good. At the moment, the candle holder is out in the lead, but other items are going to pick up and come in alongside that. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. Let us know in the comments anything you want to see, anything you want to know. Remember, I'm going to see Lou in England in July, and I'd like to hear of ideas that you want for the content in that. See you in next week's episode. Cheers.